Hello, welcome to Sparks 1524. I'm Nathaniel Miller. Once again, I am coming to you from my secret mobile studio hidden in the bowels of Niceville, Florida. I want to apologize for being off the air for a couple of weeks. I just had a lot happening. After I was at Gettysburg for the 158th commemoration of the battle, I went up to see some friends in Mechanicsburg, stumbled onto what turned out to be the northernmost battle of the Civil War up there in Mechanicsburg, went back to Gettysburg for a few days, and then had some family things in Tennessee to take care of before ending up back in Florida. Now, if you've been following this journey, I left Washington State and made a nice long cross country with the intent of settling in Tennessee. However, family situations have changed, and again, nothing bad. I don't want to make it sound like there's some big disaster happening here, because there's not. But life happens and life changes, and family issues in Tennessee are good. Family issues here in Florida are good. But the logistics of things make it more practical for me to settle here in Florida. So I am coming back home finally. And if you follow this blog at all, then you know I'm a big fan of Pensacola, primarily because of the Naval Aviation Museum, where an airplane that I actually used to work on is on display. But there's a lot else in that town that fascinates me. I can see myself volunteering at the lighthouse for a good number of, well, for a long time itself, because there's a lot of history there that goes from that crosses maritime history to Pensacola local history, ghost stories, the Civil War, modern aviation, modern maritime history, and that's all in one lighthouse. Pensacola and St. Augustine here in Florida kind of argue for who is the oldest city in North America. I should say, the oldest European founded city. Pensacola was founded first, but then it was abandoned for a number of years, and during that interval, St. Augustine was founded. Now, St. Augustine's never been abandoned, so Pensacola is the oldest founded European city in America, but St. Augustine is the oldest continually inhabited European city in America. But Pensacola is home, and that's where I'm going to be looking, and I'll be meeting with a realtor on Tuesday and officially starting my house hunt, so please wish me luck. It's been a very interesting journey. I went to Washington State fully intending to be there for quite a few years. Well, that's overdramatic. For a few years. The federal term position I was on was only 18 months, and it ran from January of 2019 to June of 2020, and I fulfilled that term. They had wanted to keep me on, but there were issues at the workplace that I just didn't think were worth putting up with, so I checked out and went independent as a novelist and blogger. And then, of course, the pandemic hit, and I was stuck in Washington for over a year because, like everybody else, I needed to stay put to stay safe. I was ready to move on to Tennessee and then to Florida. Being in Florida, it's a good, happy ground. My folks are down here, and we have a great time together, so being close to them is going to be wonderful. I have family in Tennessee. I'm only 7 hours from there, and since I am self-employed, and I work my own hours and write my own hours, and I am a very forgiving boss, it's easy for me to pop up there to see family. So I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot here in the Southeast that I've yet to explore, and a lot more adventures to be had around the country. There's also a lot more writing to do, and of course more videos to do as I share with people who prefer this format to my written blog. Now, as far as this format, I am introducing later today a new program called Short Takes. Most of my videos on average are 5 to 7 minutes. I like to keep them short, and if I have something long, then I'll do 2 or 3 parts. But I also know that there are certain things I want to talk about that don't need 5 minutes or 7 minutes. Plus, based on my own experience, there's a number of times where I want to watch a YouTube video for just 2 or 3 minutes because I'm in the middle of a project and I need just a really short break. As I block the light there, you like that? Haha. Let me try that again a little more responsibly. A little short break. See, I got the light on my face now. But I don't need a 5 or 10 minute break. I just want a 2 or 3 minute video. And if I'm having that experience, there's got to be other people out there who would appreciate that kind of a product as well. So I will be inaugurating Short Takes from Sparks 1524, and these will be 2-minute videos. I am not abolishing the longer format episodes. I'm going to be doing both. Variety is good. Some people like the longer format, some people want the shorter format. And I enjoy doing both. And that's the best thing about being on YouTube. This is something that should be fun. And for me it is, because I like to talk, clearly. I have a lot to say, clearly. And just as clearly, I obviously think I'm a highly interesting person. I mean, come on. I'm my favorite person. I would be really bored if I weren't here. And I'm honest enough to admit that I do not suffer from false humility. Of course, there's a lot of people who would say I don't suffer from any humility, but we're working on that. Book number 3 for the Accidental Detective series is, well, I can't say it's underway because it's already written, but I'm editing it. And Jerry and I, my editor, will be starting to collaborate later this fall on the editing process. The tentative release date is somewhere between February and May of next year. And I would like to be a little more firm right now, but house hunting has to take precedence because I obviously need my own place to live. So, later today, the first short takes will be going out. I appreciate your patience again waiting for me. But as always, I continue. Whether your favorite YouTuber is on a hiatus or is publishing currently, your favorite columnist is writing, always go out. Think independently. Experience wonder. Always explore. And always remember, go and do great things. If you'd like to read a little more, my column about the same subject is linked below. And until I see you again, as I just said, go and do some great things.